Right now at 10, the village of Milan says it's about to take a financial hit.
So it's a significant revenue source for the city.
Tonight, how much it stands to lose when a cannabis dispensary uproots, and why the village says owners decided to leave. Plus, for the first time, Moline could get a couple of roundabouts.
That could just kind of keep everything flowing and everybody moving in the direction they need to go.
How much time the city says they'll help you save, and what still needs to happen before it's a reality.
No doubt a scorcher of a day, reaching record highs as high as 98 degrees. Now we got some tolerable temperatures on the way. In transition, that chance for a shower or thunderstorm. We'll track it for you with the help of your accurate forecast.
Countdown to the November election, and we're answering your questions tonight. We verify what happens to an absentee ballot if a voter dies after it's turned in. And later, it's an invasive species found in our area that's dangerous to touch and hard to kill. Tonight, how you can spot them and what to do if you see one. News 8 at 10 starts right now. Thanks for joining us tonight. Temperatures are starting to cool off across our area. It's a big difference from just a few hours ago. Take a look at this. Christy in Moline sent us this today. Crayons melting in today's extreme heat. We just finished our second straight day with these dangerous temperatures, but that's not all we're dealing with today. Our Storm Track 8 team is tracking the next system impacting our region. James is in the Weather Center tonight, tracking some showers and thunderstorms in our hometowns right now. Hey, James.
Hey, John. Yeah, we were kind of keeping an eye on this throughout the past several hours as we were monitoring some convective thunderstorms around northeastern Missouri. And then we were dealing with some old outflow boundaries from some old storms in north central Iowa. The question was going to be how much coverage we would be looking at across our area by the time we got our way into the mid-evening hours. And this is the example we're seeing right here. Kind of blossomed away from southeastern Iowa, stretching its way eastward, right around parts of Highway 34. And we continue to see that, kind of expanding a little bit more northward as it makes its way toward the immediate Quad Cities. Has had a nice little downpour just outside our station here in Moline, as well as some claps of thunder to go with it as well. And we'll continue to see all this activity move slowly from west to east right through midnight before it becomes a bit more isolated as we head later on tonight, and really focusing on areas along the I-80 corridor and southward for some of these showers and thunderstorms as well. But as far as anything severe, all that is long gone. Did have some strong winds that took place outside of Burlington and even around Middletown, right near Burlington as well. But right now we're just dealing with some average showers and thunderstorms across the area. You can see how it's really impacting your temperatures with upper 60s, even some lower 70s. Yeah, the roadways are now wet, especially on the I-74 bridge there. 79 degrees that we have. Southwest winds around 21, and we're getting a nice little rush of wind, clock close to 40 miles an hour. And this chance will continue as we make our way the next couple of days. We'll show you how those are going to track in just a few minutes, John.
All right, James, thank you. And make sure you have the News 8 app downloaded on your phone. There you can get severe weather alerts anytime weather is impacting you. That app is available right now in both the Apple and Android app stores.
Anytime we can get new revenue coming in without having to continue to tax the existing people that are here is great news for the city of Rock Island.
And tonight, Rock Island leaders just released their plans for the first dispensary in town, and that would move the Milan Nature's Treatment location to Rock Island. Specifically, the site is near the Iowa border, across the street from the Bally's Quad Cities Casino off Interstate 280. City engineers still need to inspect this area, which would include both the dispensary and a truck stop next door. And Milan Village officials say Nature's Treatment of Illinois generates tens of thousands of dollars for the village every month. Maddie Fran shows us why they say the dispensary is moving and how they expect the move to affect Milan's economy.
We've done everything I think we can to be a good neighbor to them and to allow them to do business in Milan.
Milan Mayor Dwayne Dawson says the owners of Nature's Treatment of Illinois have done business in the village for years. The dispensary enjoys incentives like a tax increment financing district, which gives the business back 75 to 80% of its property taxes to pay for development costs.
Certainly Nature's Treatment has done very well at that location.
And Village Administrator Steve Sivers says they contribute plenty in sales taxes.
Right now the rolling 12-month average is about $145,000 a month. So it's a significant revenue source for the city.
But Dawson says something changed.
They were unhappy because we did not make them the exclusive cannabis dispensary in Milan.
Dawson says Nature's Treatment wanted the village to prevent a new dispensary, Terrace Cannabis Dispensary, from moving in down the road.
Had we done what they want us to, we would have been sued.
Now, Nature's Treatment plans on moving out, taking the sales tax revenue with it. But Sevier and Dawson aren't concerned with the loss.
We certainly hate to see the loss of any of that, but on the other hand, it's not that there won't be a dispensary present in Milan. We have a new one which has opened.
Right.
So we'll pick up some or all of that loss.
According to one of the developers of the Rock Island project, Jeff Eubanks, employees will be moved to the Rock Island locations. And once the buildings are empty, Sevier says other businesses can take over.
So it's an opportunity to bring jobs back into the community that way as well.
Dawson says the village has lost businesses before, but it's kept on growing.
You know, we're going to come through this. There'll be some loss of revenue for a while, but I have fully expect that to be built back up to where we were.
Matt Stern, an owner of Nature's Treatment, has a different view of the situation. He says Nature's Treatment has been in talks with Milan for the last year and a half about plans to open a grow facility. He claims the village still allowed the second dispensary to open. That dispensary, Terrace, is too close to where the grow facility would have been, forcing Nature's Treatment to scrap its plans. Now, Stern says Nature's Treatment has reached an impasse, choosing to move to Rock Island where it would have more space. John?
All right, Maddie, thank you. Eubanks and Stern are also moving Stern Beverage from Milan to Rock Island. That's an Anheuser-Busch distribution center. The project will be on the site of the former Campbell Sports Complex. And Rock Island police tell us school officials have not found any weapons in the first 3 weeks of school. The district just installed weapons detectors over the summer and started using them when school started. Those detectors are at Rock Island High School and both Edison and Washington Junior High Schools. The devices alert when they sense a large metal object when students walk through them. The school district has said the devices are in response to violence in schools around the country. And the city of Moline is considering building its first 2 roundabouts along 7th Avenue. The proposed roundabouts would sit at 15th and 18th Street intersections. The entire project has a $3.75 million price tag. Most would be covered by a Rebuild Illinois grant. The rest would come from the gas tax and other local funding. The city engineering team estimates it would reduce delays at 15th Street by 10 seconds, and over at 18th Street, delays would increase along 7th Avenue by 2 seconds, but decrease on 18th Street by 25 seconds. It's right outside Spotlight Theater, and the producing director thinks it'd be a good addition.
On event nights for us, congestion gets a little backed up here, but I think if they do end up adding a roundabout here, that it could just kind of, without that stop sign of backing everybody up, it could just kind of keep everything flowing and everybody moving in the direction they need to go.
Now, Moline City Council has not formally approved the plans. If that happens, though, construction is expected to last from April to December next year. All right, in Illinois right now, the Department of Transportation manages 25 roundabouts across the state. IDOT says they've seen roundabouts reduce crashes and delays at those locations. The state says it's planning more roundabouts across the state right now. And renovations are underway at the TMBC Lincoln Center. Just a few months ago, the center received $170,000 from Lowe's Hometowns. It's an organization that restores community spaces across the country. The center's executive director says the grant is helping restore the auditorium.
There's so much that we can do with the auditorium that's more than just plays. We can do film festivals, we can do speaker series, we can have concerts in there. So this just opens more opportunities for the community to be involved with the Lincoln Center.
Now, the TMBC Resource Center is on track to have its renovations completed by the middle of November. And new tonight, we've just learned Duluth Trading Company plans to lay off some of its Iowa workers. The company says it's closing the Dubuque Distribution Center. According to Iowa Workforce Development, 74 workers are expected to lose their jobs at the end of October. And we are just 10 weeks away from the general election this November. Voters in Iowa can now request an absentee ballot through county auditor offices. If you want to get a ballot in the mail, those offices must receive your request by October 21st. You can download that form from the Iowa Secretary of State's website. In Scott County, officials say they'll start mailing out the ballots on October 16th. That process, though, is underway in Illinois too, but the rules are a little bit different. If you want to vote by mail in Rock Island County, you need to make that request by October 31st. The clerk's office there will start mailing out ballots to those voters at the end of September. And millions of Americans will vote by mail this year. Brandon Lewis explains what happens if a voter dies after sending in their ballot.
Former President Jimmy Carter turns 100 on October 1st. Carter entered hospice last year, and his family says his goal is to live long enough to cast his ballot for Kamala Harris.
My grandfather can't wait to vote for Kamala Harris.
That prompted people online to ask, what happens if someone mails in their ballot but dies before Election Day? Does their vote still get counted? Let's verify. Our sources are the National Conference of State Legislatures, Ballotpedia, election officials in 19 states, and various state laws. Since election laws vary by state, the answer depends on where the voter lived. Laws in 9 states say their vote would still count, while 10 states have laws saying they won't. And Connecticut only counts ballots from deceased service members. So what about the remaining states? They don't have laws on the books, so it's up to state attorneys general and election officials. As for Carter, he's registered to vote in Georgia, where state election officials did not respond to our questions about how they handle votes cast by people who pass away before Election Day. With Your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
And if you see something you want us to verify, just text the word verify to the number on your screen, or you can always send an email to verify@wqad.com. All right, coming up, an invasive creature is popping up in Illinois. What you need to know about the so-called hammerhead worm and what to do if you see one. You're watching News 8 at 10.